Picture this. It's 2 a.m. and your neighbor's TV is blasting through your bedroom wall like they're hosting a movie marathon for the entire neighborhood. Sound familiar? Or maybe you're trying to work from home, but the traffic outside sounds like a NASCAR race happening right in your living room. You're desperate for some peace and quiet, but here's the thing. You're stuck between two absolute nightmares. Nightmare number one. You blow hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars on a weekend DIY project that you saw on YouTube, and it completely fails. Now you're broke, exhausted, and still drowning in noise. Nightmare number two is even worse. You get a professional quote that's so ridiculously high, it feels like they're building you a space shuttle when all you really wanted was some basic quiet time. And here's what really gets me fired up. Most of the soundproofing advice you'll find online is complete garbage. I'm talking about those viral TikToks telling you to slap egg cartons on your wall, or that soundproof paint that costs $200 a gallon and does absolutely nothing. Look, if you're tired of terrible advice and want the real deal on soundproofing, hit that like button right now and subscribe to the channel. I promise you, no egg carton nonsense here. And if you want even more detailed guides and step-by-step tutorials on everything we're about to cover, head over to soundproofcentral.com after this video. We've got comprehensive breakdowns of every technique that'll save you time and money. Today, I'm cutting through all the BS. I'm going to give you the honest breakdown of what actually works, what it really costs, and most importantly, a simple framework so you know exactly what you can tackle yourself and when it's worth bringing in the professionals. Most people confuse soundproofing with acoustic treatment. And guys, these are not the same thing. Acoustic treatment is all that fancy foam you see in recording studios and home theaters. Those wedge-shaped panels, bass traps in the corners, those cool-looking diffusers. They make the sound inside your room sound cleaner and less echoey, perfect for recording podcasts or mixing music. But here's the kicker. They do absolutely nothing to stop your neighbor's bass from thumping through your wall at midnight. Soundproofing? That's a completely different beast. It's all about isolation, building actual barriers to stop sound dead in its tracks. It works both ways too. Keeps their noise out and your noise in. And here's the reality check. True soundproofing isn't decoration, it's construction. Everything that actually works comes down to three core principles. Write these down. The first principle is mass. Heavy, dense materials resist sound. It's that simple. A concrete wall blocks way more sound than a hollow door. The heavier, the better. The second principle is decoupling. This is the pro's secret weapon, and most people have never even heard of it. Decoupling means physically separating surfaces so vibrations can't travel through them. Think of it like building a wall within a wall, with an air gap between them. That gap becomes your sound buffer zone. It's incredibly powerful. And the third principle, which might be the most important one, is sealing air gaps. Sound absolutely loves to sneak through cracks, holes, and tiny gaps. Even the smallest crack around your door frame can completely ruin an otherwise solid wall. I always tell people, think of your room like a boat. Doesn't matter how thick that hull is if there's a hole letting water in, right? Same concept. So as we go through your options, keep asking yourself, does this involve mass, decoupling, or sealing? If the answer is no, it's not real soundproofing. All right, let's talk DIY. This path is perfect if you've got more time than money, you're comfortable with weekend projects, and you're dealing with mild to moderate noise. The goal here isn't total silence. Let's be realistic. It's major improvement. Your first mission is becoming a seal hunter. I'm talking about finding every single gap and crack in your room. Grab a few tubes of acoustic sealant. This stuff stays flexible and won't crack over time. Hunt down gaps along baseboards, around windows, door frames, and especially around electrical outlets. Add some quality weather stripping and a solid door sweep. You know that gap under your door? Sound is having a party sneaking through there. For under $100 and an afternoon of work, you'll actually hear a real difference. I'm not kidding. Your next step is adding some weight. The classic DIY approach is adding a second layer of drywall. Use 5/8" Type X drywall. It's denser than regular stuff. And here's the pro tip. Sandwich it with green glue noise-proofing compound. Now, if you're renting or want something less permanent, heavy sound-absorbing curtains can actually work. I'm not talking about those flimsy drapes from the department store. I mean thick, multi-layered curtains, often called blackout or theater curtains. Will they give you studio-level silence? Absolutely not. But for $50 to $100 per window, they can noticeably dull outside noise. For the ambitious DIYers out there, there's mass-loaded vinyl. This dense, rubber-like sheet can go behind drywall, or even hang like a sound barrier. It's pricier, about $2 to $5 per square foot, but incredibly effective at blocking voices and TV noise. Here's the thing about DIY. You can transform that annoying loud TV into a faint background murmur. But don't expect miracles with heavy footsteps or booming bass. For that, you need the big guns. So what happens when your noise problem is serious? When you need real isolation for recording, or you've got structural noise that's making your life miserable? That's when you call in the cavalry. Professional soundproofing takes those same three principles, mass, decoupling, and sealing, and pushes them to the absolute limit. And it comes with a price tag to match. You're looking at $10 to $30 per square foot. A basic room runs $1,800 to $5,000. For full-scale studios or home theaters, we're talking $9,000 or more. But here's what you get for that money. Pros use techniques like resilient channels or sound isolation clips. These create flexible connections that literally break the vibration path. For the ultimate solution, there's room within a room construction. They literally build new walls, ceilings, and floors inside your existing space, making sure nothing touches the original structure. That's how professional studios achieve near silence. So which path is right for you? It comes down to three things: your noise problem, your budget, and your skill level. For neighbor noise, if you're under $500, DIY is the way to go. Seal gaps, add weather stripping, hang heavy curtains. If you've got $500 to $2,000 to work with, you can tackle drywall with green glue, maybe even mass-loaded vinyl. Over $2,500, a pro with isolation clips will outperform anything you can DIY. For impact noise like footsteps from upstairs, I hate to break it to you, but DIY fixes are almost useless here. Your best bet? Convince your upstairs neighbor to add thick rugs. Beyond that, only a pro can properly decouple your ceiling, and that's several $1,000s. For different spaces, here's what I recommend. Home office, DIY basics might be all you need. Nursery with neighbors above. Combine DIY with professional advice, serious recording studio. Don't kid yourself. Only professional isolation will work. Look, here's the truth. This choice isn't about which option is better. It's about which option is right for your situation. DIY can give you back a lot of peace and quiet, if your expectations are realistic. Professional work achieves silence that DIY simply can't touch, but it comes with a serious investment. Either way, think of this as an investment in your sanity and quality of life. Get it right the first time, whether that's a smart DIY project or hiring a skilled professional, and you'll save yourself money, frustration, and countless sleepless nights. All right, your turn. What's the noise problem that's driving you absolutely crazy? Drop it in the comments below. You'll get ideas from our amazing community, and it helps me figure out what deep dive videos to make next. And if you found this helpful, smash that like button and subscribe for more no BS soundproofing advice. For detailed guides, product recommendations, and everything we covered today, head over to soundproofcentral.com. We've got step-by-step tutorials that'll walk you through every technique we discussed. Thanks for watching, and here's to finally getting the peace and quiet you deserve.